Yo, what's up everyone? Abigor here. Today, I'm back here for another banging video. So today, we're talking about Asuka and how she's the greatest Japanese wrestler of all time. Not any of those other jobbers, not Okada, know what I'm saying? Not Io Sky, not Shinsuke Nakamura, not Takashita or others of those people. No, Asuka. Because there are a lot of things that Asuka has contributed to the women's roster and wrestling as a whole. But first, let's talk about other Japanese people. Let's go start with Io Sky, aka everyone's favorite wrestler right now. Look, if you've been watching my videos, bro, you already know how I feel about Io Sky. I'm not going to get into that. But Io Sky, you know, she put in some work for the business, I guess. I guess I will admit that. You know, she was at NXT. She became NXT Women's Champion with some forgettable feuds. And got jobbed out to Raquel Rodriguez. But then she got on the main roster. Well, no, before she got to the main roster, she was in the basically a jobber tag team with Zoe Stark. And they ended up winning tag titles together. See, that's the thing about the women's roster because they always got to put two random women in a tag team together. And because they don't have any real tag teams that they could depend on. And it's been that way ever since they introduced a women's tag division in WWE, which I believe that should never happen because, like I said, there wasn't no real tag teams. So, now I'm saying, what's really the point? But anyways, so she got in that random tag team. Then she went to the main roster and became tag champions with Dakota Kai twice. And then, now I'm saying, she had this solo stuff. And then she became women's champion, defeated Bianca at SummerSlam. Probably one of the most forgettable title reigns of all time because I don't remember not one single thing. I don't even remember one title defense that she had in that reign. Like that reign was so forgettable, bro. That's the thing about her because all of her reigns are so forgettable, bro. Like, what can you even think of about that? But yeah, she had that, and then now, she took away the spotlight of Rhea versus Bianca WrestleMania by basically Daniel Bryan herself into the main title scene again, and now it's a triple threat match. Like, come on, bro. And then we got Shinsuke. No, Shinsuke, he has biggest momentum in 2018. When he won the Royal Rumble in the main roster. About this apparent dream match with AJ Styles that ended up being disappointing. And then, he just ended up turning heel and all this other stuff. But come on, bro. Like, all the stuff that Shinsuke did, man. And then after that, he just went to the mid card and just won a couple mid card titles. So, I don't really understand why, they're going to push that agenda onto him. But, it kind of basically did the same thing years later. Now I'm saying he won tag titles. And then he had a forgettable IC title reign where he defeated Apollo Crews. Y'all remember that reign? Oh, man. And then I guess he kind of went away for a while. Because I don't remember what happened after that. He had his little feud with with Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title, and then he came back and was in the field with LA Knight. And he won the US title, another forgettable reign. And now nothing, bro. Nothing's happening. Because what can you really do? No, same thing with Okada and Takashita. And, you know what I'm saying, Riho and Hikaru Shida, all these other people. Like, what's even the point of those people? I guess AEW, and they have their, the little wrestlers and all this other stuff because they don't care about storylines. No, that makes them so entertaining, right? Death matches, right? But let's get to Asuka now. Forget about the jobbers now. Let's get about Asuka. Because Asuka, she's been a major product for so long now, bro. Know what I'm saying? Because Asuka, she had her undefeated streak on NXT. That's a huge starter right there. No other wrestler has had an undefeated streak on NXT, which still remains to this day. She's never lost a match on NXT. And she was the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion ever at 500 plus days, but she had to relinquish the title due to injury. But then she won the main roster, had more momentum, won the Royal Rumble. But of course, her streak ended when she jobbed out to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, which I feel like she should have won the match. And then she finally had her moment a few months later when she won the title. And then she did some stuff with the title reigns. You know what I'm saying? She had a couple of feuds here and there. You know what I'm saying? And it was lit. And here's the thing, bro. Because even though most Japanese wrestlers can't really talk, at least Asuka has something that she could depend on, bro. At least she had a catchphrase she could depend on, saying, "Y'all not ready for Asuka." Like, most of these Japanese wrestlers don't really have anything they could depend on. You don't really have that. And I feel like that's the problem with it. Because if you don't really have that, then you're not going to really get far. Why do you think they kept Asuka for so long? So yeah. What I'm saying is, so Asuka is the GOAT Japanese wrestler. Forget all those other people. It's Asuka. Argue for all. And we're gonna keep this rolling, bro. And hopefully she comes back soon. I know she was dealing with her injury and stuff like that. I mean, she might return on Raw after Mania, most likely. Well, I hope she does, but yeah. Anyways, that's it right now. Comment down below what you think about this topic as always. Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace out.